So just explain to us here what this advance decision is, and there is a difference between the lasting power of attorney as well, isn't there? So
yeah.
What's the difference between the two? What are they?
The full term is advance decision to refuse treatment, so you can't request treatment, but it's essentially making a statement that you would indicate what treatment you wouldn't want in certain situations. So in terms of Paul, if he'd been able to make that advanced decision, I think he would have likely said that he wouldn't want to be artificially fed. And so it's putting that in writing. And what can go along with that as well is a value statement. So you talk about what's important to you, your values, your wishes, your beliefs, your preference. You know, so again, going back to Paul, I think he would have written something around being independent and active.
And the problem is, we're all a bit rubbish when it comes to death and dying and illness. Nobody wants to have these conversations before they're faced with this, but the reality is your reality, that actually it's so much worse for the family at that time. So what advice would you give to anyone watching now of how to bring up that conversation, when to have that conversation, why it's so important?
I think that many couples and families do have this kind of conversation as to what they would like to happen to them if they end up in this or a similar state. But I would urge people to write an advanced decision. It's so easy to do. You only need to take 10 minutes out of your time to do it. You can go on the Compassion in Dying website and fill in a form, which is so easy to do. Print it off, discuss it with your loved ones and make sure they have a copy. So should anything happen...
And it's a free process as well. It doesn't cost you anything to do it.
No, it's so
that's essentially you deciding what you want to happen should those terrible circumstances arrive. The power of attorney is that costs a little bit more. That's £100, I think, to organise that, and that is you would nominate someone to be the person who would make those decisions for you.
You would, yeah. So you nominate someone to make decisions about your health and welfare, and then there's also a section within that form where you can nominate someone to make decisions about life-sustaining treatment. And you can also indicate whether you would prefer the doctor to make that decision.
And the thing is, as Holly just said then, you know, we don't like having those decisions, we don't like having those discussions. You sit down and say, oh, well, no, it's morbid, I don't want to discuss it now. But if you'd had that discussion and written something down, it would have saved you, and the last thing he would have wanted was 18 months of extra pain trying to figure it all out.
No, he wouldn't have wanted to go through that, and he wouldn't want his family to go through what we've had to go through. And as hard as it is to let somebody go, we could have acted on his wishes much earlier had it been written down.